Morning, how's it going? I've got an amazing mudline on my legs. So, Thursday last week, so it'll have been a week and a half by the time you see this, I went out and did the Leitrim Way in a day.
Yes.
Yes. For the fun.
How long is the Leaching Way?
So the Leitrim Way is 56k from Manorhamilton, which is kind of like the middle point of Leitrim, to Leitrim Village, the very southern tip of County Leitrim, kind of. And it's typically done 2 to 3 days as a lovely National Waymark Trail walking route. But the guys who managed the Leitrim Way put out a post mentioning how there was no FKT or fastest known time for the Leitrim Way.
So you got it. Ellie is the fastest person to have done the Leitrim Way.
Known time.
Yes.
So yeah, the stipulation is that you have to track or record your outing to kind of make it provable that you did it in the time that you did it. Now, FKTs are kind of normally set by like professional, international level athletes. But the joys of our current situation, setup, whatever, is that I went off on a Thursday morning. When
all of the professional athletes were asleep.
I know, just I knew that there are some really, really fast runners out there who would set some very good who would set some really good times once they got the chance.
Yeah.
So if I wanted my name on a leaderboard, to be known,
the chance was
I had to be the first person, and then set a wonderfully easily breakable record for whoever comes along next. You know.
That's not to say you didn't run it.
No, I did a run walk combo. So I guess also so it took me, the route is 56. It took me 60 kilometers.
You paced around the cafe or something.
I went in search of clippos twice. I also filmed it. So for every shot you see of me joyously running away from the camera, there is a return shot of me
angrily staring the camera down.
Coming back to the camera every single time.
Yeah, I wasn't there, so I couldn't.
Yes. This is
maybe another time we'll do it like that.
Yeah.
It'll be easier.
Yeah, this is a solo venture. You were working that day, and
It's actually the very first National Way Trail that only one of us has done. Because we haven't done the Leitrim Way as a Tough Souls walking thing yet.
Over a year ago, we walked it from Dowra to Leitrim Village.
Correct.
Because for the past 2 years, that was the section that was open.
Yeah. Only recently has the Manorhamilton to Dara section been opened.
Yes.
Adding like an extra 30 kilometres to it.
Yes.
And it also looks really cool. So.
Oh yeah, I'm delighted to say the top section is the best section so far.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we will go and walk it someday.
Yes.
Thankfully, it's a really local trail for us.
Yeah.
So we'll happily go and walk it, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
Get a lift or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, the chance was there for you to get the fastest known time, and you got it.
Yes. So I currently hold the record.
Yeah. Hopefully, still by the time the video comes out.
Who knows? Who knows? It's been a whole 10 days or whatever. It can go a bit longer. So it starts in Manorhamilton Village. If you're looking for the start plaque,
I'm pointing to the map. There'll be a map.
Okay.
Right. So Manorhamilton, and then it goes like around loads, and then Dara, and then it goes straight down, and then Leitrim Village.
Okay. It's in the castle car park. That's the easiest point on Google Maps to kind of reference. It's an amazing actual ruin of a castle. I want to go back sometime and
I've never been to Manorhamilton.
Read the plaques. Yeah, no, it was really cool. Actually, I guess to get there, I drove to Leitrim Village, my finish point, for 7:30 in the morning, and got a local link bus up to Manorhamilton.
A very traditional Tough Souls method of transportation.
Big fans of the local link.
Yeah.
So got there for 9:15 or so, and then spent a little while wandering through Manorhamilton to find the start point, which I can now say, put in the car park for the castle, and Manorhamilton Castle car park, and you'll find it there. The trail then kind of loops around Manorhamilton and then heads for the hills. It's just north enough into Leitrim that you get to kind of see the more mountainous side of Leitrim that I feel like is the less well-known aspect of it.
Yeah, at least to us. And you said there were nice views.
Yeah, they're really, really nice views for the first half. You can kind of see towards I don't want to say Glencar, but
I thought you looked southwards, no?
Well, the trail heads south the whole time, but views are magically 360. So the views north were really good as well.
You've really broadened my horizons. Good views, look good. Yeah. Mountainy, bit of forest trails.
So, and in the first, 25k, you do the majority of the climbing. The highest point of the route is Dowra, which is a little lake up in these hills. Which apparently there's a way marker there denoting that this is the highest point of the trail, but I was staring at the lake too much that I missed the way marker on the other side of the trail.
What's the height of the highest point?
374 metres.
Oh, it's actually better than I thought.
Oh yeah, it's not, we're not talking about Kerry or Wicklow or whatever.
Yeah.
But for the area, so much of the area is a pancake that getting to 374 metres gives you some really, really good views. I was quite impressed.
Yeah.
And that was definitely my favourite section.
And then you get to Dara.
Yeah, you descend along some small back roads and stuff into Dara, where I stopped for clipper number 1, very important. And then you have the Dara to Drumshanbo section, which is a lot of like tiny borings.
I mean, we've done that section. Yeah. We've walked it. Yeah. And I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's very, very quiet. Like I met one like 80-year-old farmer in the tiniest like little Fiat with his sheepdog. Like that was it. So you have that section, which has the Yellow River Bridge crossing on it, which is
a new kind of addition to the trail.
Yeah.
A new infrastructure addition.
Yeah.
It's a really, really cool. It's a great thing. Like
it's quite dramatic.
Yeah, I really like walking only infrastructure. Because it's not like there's a road there or anything.
No.
Like it's a bridge in some fields.
Yeah, it's exclusively for walkers.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. You don't get that much of that. Other than Styles.
Yeah. So you then make it to, and that's a really, like, when you go from Manorhamilton to Dowra and you look at the map, you're like, I've made it no distance, but you've passed your halfway point. It's just the rest of the trail is incredibly straight. So then Drumshanbo to Leitrim Village is along like waterways, like canal towpaths. So back off of roads, it's gravel,
you
super duper quiet.
The boardwalk there, the photo boardwalk. That's quite popular.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, super duper quiet. And this is kind of the reason that I did it in the direction I did it as well, because I knew that all of the like more tiring part of the day I would do first, and then the further south I would get, the easier it would get in a way.
That's the closer to home you get.
Yeah, exactly. So the drive home would be shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really feels like a trail that kind of has like 3 different stages, where you're like kind of got your like hills, mountainy bit. You've got your really quiet kind of back borings, which has some kind of heritage along it as well. There's like the there's a couple of holy wells. There's an old sweat house, and then you have the Drumshanbo to Leitrim Village, which is the like really, really chill, pretty, like slow river walking kind of part. Which reminds me of how the Leitrim Way also kind of feels like it has 3 different stages. It's like the Leitrim Way goes from like Limerick City out along canals and rivers, and then has its kind of hills and lake walking and kind of more kind of I don't want to say rugged, but kind of adventurous walking at the other end. So I feel like they were kind of
similar trails.
Yeah, kind of similar trails. Kind
similar
of
distance
like,
too, and kind of.
Yeah, the Leitrim Way I think is a bit longer. But yeah, that was what it reminded me of while I was doing it. It was different to do a whole trail in one day.
Yeah, we really haven't done very many of the trails in one day.
Yeah.
Other than this one, right? So there's the Cavan Way, which is quite short.
The Nor Valley Way.
Oh yeah. That one's kind of a weird one. The Dublin Mountain Way you could do in a day.
Yeah, I know if you've done that.
That's that's kind of marathon length, so a few people would
do that as their first mountain trail run.
That's probably it really for.
You could also do, if you're kind of going to that distance, you could do the one in Carlingford, the Thon Way, in a day.
That's 50k or 60k, I think. Yeah.
No, I think it's definitely in the 40s.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I think that one
one's
also
probably quite doable. Yeah.
You could do that in a day as well, if you're going to that kind of if you're putting a marathon as your cut-off point.
Interesting.
Yeah. Some of the cool infrastructure I saw being built is the sheep's wool path.
Oh, this is amazing. Yeah, this is really cool.
So they're using sheep's wool as the foundation for a bog trail, which apparently is a like historic way of doing things and has been done in Scotland and I think in the Mournes, but this is the first Irish project to implement it, because it's really hard to build a trail through bog that's not going to kind of erode away.
Yeah, sink into the bog
Yeah.
over time, or damage the bog significantly. Yeah.
Or like the plastic kind of mesh that puts down, like that's also not great.
Yeah.
Boardwalk also needs to be replaced every few years because it rots. So I'm really, really excited for this. I'm really excited to see like how it progresses. If they have good results, which I think they will, it could be implemented in loads of different places.
Yeah. That'd be really, really cool.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have. So many of the trails do go through bog.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to have a sustainable and kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a nice way to do things.
Yeah, I'm really, really hopeful. I'm really excited for it anyway.
Yeah.
Actually, when I was passing the sheep's wool section, I met a farmer who was dropping up more materials for the people who were working on the trail. And we stopped, we had a chat, because I love chatting to people who are involved in it and whose land it goes through and stuff. And he's saying that, it was going to pass his farm on the other side of the hill. And it was just really cool, because I don't think he'd met many people going out to do the trail. So for him it was like, oh, people do come to do this thing that we work on. And for me it was like, one of the mysterious people who actually makes all this happen.
Yeah.
So we had a really great chat, warning me about the woods ahead, that it could be a bit spooky and stuff. But I was there on the most glorious sunny day.
Yeah.
As an Irish person, you can never complain about it being too sunny, so I can't say that, but it was really, really sunny.
Yeah.
May have come home slightly sunburnt, because I just wasn't expecting that kind of heat.
Extremely sunburned, yeah. You had a good time?
I did.
Yeah.
I had a really good time. And that was kind of my goal for the day, because
victory was assured.
Well, because where my fitness currently is at, I had the option of going out and running as hard as I can and then just walking the rest, or doing more of a run walk mix. And I think I went for the run walk mix, and I think that meant that by the end my body in general was feeling way better than if I had run more of it. But I was also out for 3 or 4 hours longer, and my feet were more exhausted. Like I actually had blisters. I was really excited when I got to the Canal bit, because I still had a teeny bit of energy, and I started to run.
And then your blisters.
And then I felt a blister actually explode, and it was under my toes.
Been there.
So walking was still fine, but running was quite painful. And I was like, well, I'm not beating a time, I'm setting a time. So I guess I'll just walk. Yes, that was really interesting to kind of realise that if I go slower, I can kind of keep going indefinitely, but my feet aren't as tough as they have sometimes been.
Yeah. That's definitely just one of those things.
Yeah.
We got, I think, really used to having very resilient feet during like
the primary
the main trails.
Yeah, the main trails.
And then sort of with COVID and everything taking time out and all that stuff, sort of hasn't hit. At least it hasn't hit me so hard that my feet are not as resilient as they used to be.
They'll get there again. Fine.
Definitely. Yeah. It's just
but
it makes me feel bad sometimes, because I definitely was like, oh, don't worry, you'll be fine. And then, giving people advice that they don't have to worry too much about it.
But there's only so much you can do before you go out on a multi-day hiking thing where you're carrying stuff. Like, you can train and stuff, but I really do feel that you're still going to be uncomfortable to a certain extent. I'm not saying to not train for big things. I'm saying do train. But you
don't train, got it.
You can't really know how something is going to feel until you do it. A little bit.
Yeah.
But so I went out for a good time, and I did.
Painting the town red.
Yeah. I was about to say I was there for a good time, not a long time, but I was there for a good time and a long time.
Yeah. What do you think is the likely next best time?
Oh, to be set on it?
Yeah.
I think it will be someone like Ricky Wynn, who's a local
doing it like
professional level
6.5 hours
runner. I'd say I'll do it in 6.
Yeah, I'd say I will too. I was just being
especially like once he makes it through the top 25k.
Yeah. Because
so much of the bottom 25 to 30k is boring style. If you're a fast runner and you're okay with some hard surface,
hit it on the road,
you just couldn't fly that section. So I'd say some really, really fast times will be set. And I'm excited to go back in a year and set a better time.
One thing to note is that the trail isn't built to be run, so the way marking isn't as frequent as you might need it to be if you're running really fast.
It's there, but it might be hidden by a fallen leaf.
Like the thing is that I think when you're walking, you have a lot more time to seek out and to see way markers.
That's very true.
And when you're running past, I think you're not as likely to pick them up very quickly. To that end, there's a free map of the Leitrim Way on toughsoles.ie/maps. So if you're going to be running the trail and you don't want to get lost, feel free to go and download those and check those out. There's also a GPX file that the Leitrim Way has made available. They've made it available, and the link can be in the description.
So the last thing to talk about is I got a little plaque from the Leitrim Development Company, which is so incredibly cool and thoughtful and nice. I absolutely love it. It's a special recognition award for recording the first ever fastest known time of the Leitrim Way, and it has the date and everything. So it's super duper cool.
It's really cool.
I'm honestly really, really delighted with it. It's not that the awards or these things are why you do them.
Oh, it's totally why you do them. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, because
it's not why you do them.
No,
at least it's very much why I do them.
I do these things because I had such an amazing day to have so much fun, and then to get this, it was just that's smart.
I know.
It was just so nice.
Good work. And a big shout out to Brian Fennell, the Rural Recreation Officer. The Rural Recreation Officer for Leitrim, who has done a lot of work on the trail, and also delivered this to you.
I did a mini interview that covers the same kind of topics with Brian for the Leaching Way, which I will link in the description if it is out and existing by the time you see this video.
Nice job.
Thanks.
Way to do it. You did it. Amazing work.
Thanks. As always, at the end of all of our videos, we want to say a huge thank you to our patrons. They are the ones who make all this possible and who make crazy days out like this possible.
Very much so. It is the only reason that you could do that on a random Thursday morning.
Yes. So a huge shout out to all of you. Thank you so much. This week I'd like to say a special thank you to Peter Walker, to James Fulton, and to
Ian Breen.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We really, really appreciate it.
We absolutely do.
Here's to more crazy adventures.
You may not get a plaque for every single one though.
I've done 5 years of adventures without getting a
plaqueless adventures. It's about time, you say. More plaques. That's all we need.
Okay.
Cool.
The camera's flashed out as well, so good timing. I'm less than 5k from the end, and I was doing my last push, and I'm pretty sure I just felt a blister pop very dramatically on my second toe on my right foot. So we're just gonna hobble again for a while, I think.